Okay, now we're going to compose functions where we're not given a value of x and we do have continuous functions here. So I'm using the same two from example 1. F of x is 2x plus 5 and g of x is negative 3x minus 4. And so they want me to find the general formula for f of g of x. So I'm going to write that down first. So f of, and then I'll use some color coding here. So g of x there. Okay, so similarly, I'm going to start with the inside function here. So I'm going to replace g of x with what g of x is equal to. Now this time I don't have a number to put in for x, so I'm just going to put in the function as it appears, as it was given. Okay, now once I've done that, then it tells me to find f of that value there. So that means I'm going to take my function f and I'm going to replace the x with this lovely pink thing that we have here. So this would say 2, and then I'm looking at f of x up here. So f of x is 2x plus 5, so that's 2, and then instead of x, I'm going to be putting in that thing that I had in pink. So negative 3x minus 4. And now I just need to simplify this, and I'll have my f of g of x. So to simplify, I'm going to distribute that 2 into the parentheses, so that would give me negative 6. Let me try that again. So negative 6x minus 8 plus 5. And then I would combine my like terms there, which are the two constants. So a negative 8 plus 5 would give me a negative 3. So f of g of x for these two functions would be negative 6x minus 3. Okay, now generally people need to see this a couple of times before it really sinks in. So we're going to do a couple more examples of this before I turn you loose on some practice questions. So here we go. We have different functions this time. We've got f of x is 2x minus 5, g of x is 2 minus x, and h of x is x squared minus 4. So this time I've got 3 functions to play with. And the first thing they ask me for is f of g of x. So once again, I'm going to color code things. So I'm going to do my f part in navy blue and my g part in pink. And so my first move would be to replace the g of x with what g of x is equal to. So looking up at the top here, my g of x is 2 minus x. Okay, so now it tells me to find f of 2 minus x. So that means I'm going to take my f function, this one here, and I'm going to replace the x with what I have in pink there. So f of x is 2 and then x minus 5. And now in place of the x, I'm putting in g, which is 2 minus x. And so now finally I can write the composition there just by simplifying what I have. So I'm going to distribute the 2 into the parentheses. So that would give me 4 minus 2x. And then again, combine like terms, and I like to have my x's first. So I'm going to say minus 2x, and then a positive 4 minus 5 would be a negative 1. So this composition would be negative 2x minus 1. Now another example using these same 3 functions is g of h of x. So now I need a new color for h. So I think I'm going to use this bright blue color. So h of x is going to be that bright blue. G is still going to be pink there. So again, I'm color coding. So my first thing would be to replace the inside function with what the inside function is equal to. So I'm going to say g of, and then replace the h of x that was on the inside with x squared minus 4. My pen is lagging again. There we go. we go. Okay, so now I need to find g of x squared minus 4. So that means I'm going to take my function called g, which is 2 minus x, but I'm going to replace the x with that x squared minus 4. And then finally, I'll put those two functions together just by simplifying the expression that I have there. So the first thing I would need to do is distribute that minus sign. It is a minus. So this would be 2 minus x squared and then plus 4. And then finally, I would combine my like terms and put things in the order that I prefer to have them. I like to have my x squared first. So this would be a negative x squared. And then my constants are positive 2 plus 4, which would be a plus 6. Okay, now you try the questions on the Google form.